We've got one more performance for you today, but before that, we're going to bring on Katie Roche, who's a leader in Iowa City's local arts community and a member of the bands The Awful Purdies and Dandelion Stompers, just to talk about, some of the things that are important to her as an Iowa voter, what's going on in her local scene. Welcome, Katie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
We're great. Really appreciating the music that we're getting from these Iowa performers, and you connected us to a lot of them, so we really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I've sort of been like the ad hoc, like, whatever presidential Democratic candidate is on the ticket. I'll help book the great artists here in Iowa for those events. So yeah, thanks for having all these artists on. I think it's really cool to make sure that we represent the arts and all of these different voices as we're talking about flipping Senate.
So what's important to you as an Iowa voter this year?
Well, I think, for me, clearly the most important thing is flipping the Senate because we just, we got those 4 or 5 seats, those votes that we just need to make sure that we can guarantee that we have control going forward. There's just too much going on. And I'm definitely a voter who's very concerned about climate change. And I'm also concerned about what's happened to our economy as a result of the pandemic. And as someone who works in arts and culture in an independent venue, we look at the predictions that 90% of independent music venues are going to close by the end of the year. And that is a loss of our institutional knowledge on how to produce events and bring our communities together. And that's a loss of income for all of these artists who would be playing these venues. It's just, it's a tremendous asset and a huge contributor to our economy. So that's really, really important to me. And of course, we haven't been able to pass a second release bill. It just hasn't happened, right? So, and there was like 6 or 7 bills and parts in the bill that would have helped that. So we need to get control.
No, absolutely. And it's, we haven't gotten those bills because Mitch McConnell has the majority and he's just not letting them through for whatever reason. So it's so important to flip that. And then, since we have you here, are there any shout outs you want to make to the local art scene in Iowa City? To venues?
Well, first I just want to thank, all of these people from outside of Iowa who have been helping try to make sure that our state flips. So thank you for that. That means a lot to us. I think sometimes Iowa just seems like a permanently red state. There's no chance of flipping us around. We've got Steve King, which is a nightmare, and so people end up characterizing us by that. But there are this is a really well-educated state. This is a state that there's a lot of farms, but there's a lot of people living in towns too, and who have different values. It's kind of an interesting thing here where, you're in a town and you see a lot of signs for Democrats, and you drive right out in the country and you see a lot of signs for Republicans. And so it's really important to be reaching out to those people that maybe aren't getting the information about the Democratic candidates. You asked me to talk about the arts though, and I'll say that, we've got this beautiful, beautiful art scene here where, people are really trying to support other Iowan artists, put them on stage before national artists come through, or elevate them, as the headliner. And I think that's really, that's a great example of Iowa values that, we really want to try to, take care of each other. And when I look at the array of artists you've had on today, that's Iowa. That's who we are. We're not just a bunch of white people who vote Republican. That's not us. We're a diverse state. We're not the most diverse state, but we're proud. We're proud of our diversity.
Awesome. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for connecting us to our next performer. And we'll bring him on shortly, but I really appreciate you helping us out and making this a successful event. So thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. And just everybody watching, I've invited tons of people to watch this today. Even if you can donate $10, they're going to give all that money to this split ticket with our candidate Teresa Greenfield on it, and whew, we need to get her on. Every 5 seconds there's a radio ad bashing her, a television ad bashing her, and people that aren't seeking out information that's not sensationalized don't know the truth. So we need that money so that the campaign can get those messages to the people that need it, so that they can get the right information about these candidates.
Yeah,
really important. So
thanks so much, Katie. And I think Teresa Greenfield is all of our candidate, because she's helping to flip that Senate, and it's going to make things happen that protect more Americans from the craziness that we're seeing coming out of the White House right now. So thanks for coming on and sharing this with us. So for our final performance, we're bringing on Blake Shaw, who Katie actually connected us. Yeah, so thanks, Katie, for doing that.
Hey, Blake.
So we wanna welcome Blake. Glad to have this Iowa City, the Iowa City art scene represented today. So thank you so much. And now we're gonna hand it over to Blake Shaw. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.